This just in.
All the gossip. The Rumor Report.
Gossip.
With Angela Yee.
It's the Rumor Report.
The Breakfast Club.
All right, well, let's talk some numbers. Rappers with the most streams in 2022, according to Hits Daily Double.
That's easy.
Okay. 1 and 2. Number 1?
NBA YoungBoy.
Drake and NBA YoungBoy.
Number 2 is NBA YoungBoy. Number 1 is Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so they have the most streams. Drake with 6.7 billion, YoungBoy with 5.4 billion, followed by Bad Bunny, then Juice WRLD, then Kanye, Future, Lil Durk, Eminem, and Rod Wave.
And it amazes me how all the traditional outlets still ignore NBA YoungBoy. Still don't get no radio play.
I wonder how much that turns into dollar sign. Like those billions of streams, how much money do they make off of that?
I don't know. I know if NBA YoungBoy was touring, NBA YoungBoy probably be the biggest thing out here.
NBA YoungBoy also makes a crazy amount of money off his merchandising, too. By the way, I think out of all the artists, he's tops in that.
I can see that.
All right, now NBA YoungBoy also, you know, he doesn't seem like the joking around kind of person, but he did hop on live with Drewski and talked about Could Have Been Records. That's his, you know, Drewski does these things with these artists where they rap, and he has this label that's all a joke. And here's how it went down.
You the epitome of what we want down here. Could Have Been Records. And if you are you open to leaving 4K trade?
I'm not NBA or 4K trade.
You're not neither one of those. Okay. We got a position down here. You could be the CEO. We could take over this for real. Your type of person you are. Man, I'm telling you, dog. We take over the world together. We do like an 80-20.
80 my way?
No. Down here, Could Have Been Records. Things are flopped a different way. You follow me? It wouldn't come 20 still a good number though.
Yeah, so obviously Juice Kid has these very funny and popular Instagram lives, but Could Have Been Records. All right, Nas and Hit-Boy have announced on November 11th, King's Disease 3 is coming out. He posted the artwork and he put KD3 on each one of the bars. So get ready for that. And George Floyd's family, like we discussed earlier, has announced a $250 million lawsuit against Kanye over the comments that he made on Drink Champs. In a press release that was out yesterday, it was revealed that Roxy Washington, who is acting on behalf of her minor child, who also is the sole beneficiary of George Floyd's estate, she's retained the Witherspoon Law Group and Dixon & Dixon attorneys at law to file that suit. So that would mean that George Floyd's daughter, who's represented jointly by the two firms, is now looking for $250 million in damages. According to the attorney, Kanye's comments are a repugnant attempt to discount George Floyd's life and to profit from his inhumane death. And the suit is described as not only against Ye, but also his business partners and associates. These comments included false claims about George Floyd's murder, which amounts to harassment, misappropriation, defamation, and infliction of emotional distress. So I also feel like the documentary that Candace Owen did that he refers to, of course, I haven't seen it, but if she says that in the documentary that he did not, you know, because they've already proven that it was a homicide. There was non-lethal fentanyl in his system.
I mean, we saw it.
And we saw the knee on the neck. But, you know, they did actually do a whole entire autopsy to determine what it was.
You know, it was declared a murder before they even did the autopsy or anything.
Yeah, so it's a homicide. So you can't just make false or misleading claims.
Well,
I
he
hear
be
people
sued.
repeating that now.
No, he should be sued. You just don't put drugs in that man's system when there's no drugs in his
Well,
system.
no. He did have low levels of
Non-lethal.
fentanyl in his system, but
Non-lethal.
they weren't the cause of his death.
Right. But people will throw that around and act like, well, that's what it was. But no. And I can see how that would be traumatizing for his daughter and family members.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll name that documentary in the lawsuit. When all the details of the lawsuit come out, I'm sure all of that will be in there. And by the way, man, I keep telling everybody, and I've been telling y'all this forever, you have freedom of speech. And you even got the freedom to lie. You even have the freedom to spread misinformation. But I don't know who told y'all that you are free of the consequences of doing those things. You're free to say whatever you want, but there is a cost to it. Sometimes it's a lawsuit. Sometimes somebody punches you in the mouth.
Sometimes it's an ass whooping, yeah.
Okay.
Either way you want to take it.
But I don't know why y'all keep thinking free speech is not free. And once again, salute to Drink Champs. That is the reason Drink Champs took the interview down. That is the sole reason, because Nori realized how much, number one, those comments would hurt the
Pain,
family,
yeah, absolutely.
and re-traumatize the family. And of course, from a business perspective, as soon as you heard it, you knew that was liable.
And it's just false. Now,
it's liable.
Let's see if you could sue Kanye for this because he had some things to say about you too.
Jewish media, black media, trauma culture, trauma economy, the stuff that Charlamagne the God works for, stuff that Rosenberg works for, the stuff that academics, the guys that academics, you got to understand, all these people that y'all listening to out here, tell y'all, they getting their checks cut. I need y'all to really respect what I'm doing, the stuff that I'm doing and I'm saying online, and love the fact, look, I got money, I got my songs, I could go off and just go to, Hawaii and live a nice life. That means that God has called me to sacrifice all of that in order to bring the truth. That's what I'm saying. They don't cut my check.
What do you say about Charlamagne? He just gets a check?
I have no idea. Kanye is so boring at this point because he's too predictable. Like I always tell y'all, whenever he's going through these manufactured beefs, these problems that he creates for himself, whether with a corporation, his ex-wife, now the Jewish community, he becomes so pro-black, and y'all fall for it every time.
Clown.
But when he's seeking white validation like he was at the fashion show in Paris a couple weeks ago, when he was giving black people his ass to kiss, per usual, with those White Lives Matter shirts, now he's going through this manufactured beef with the Jewish community, so he becomes so pro-black, and y'all fall for it every
Well, speaking
time.
of those White Lives Matter
Jesus
shirts,
Christ.
he alongside Ian Connor have given those shirts out to homeless people in L.A.
I saw that. It was a video, right? He was giving out White Lives Matter shirts to homeless people. Listen, man, don't let that man distract you from the fact that he was out here pushing white supremacist slogans like White Lives Matter and minimalizing the fact that black lives do indeed matter. Don't let that man distract you from the fact that he was repeating the rhetoric of white supremacists saying George Floyd died of fentanyl and the cop didn't have his knee on his neck like that. Like, come on, man.
All right, well,
On top of every other anti-black statement, the man is othered. Kanye West wants white validation. He looks down on all things black. We know this.
All right, well, that is your rumor report.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
I just
Front
understand how
page
people
news
fall
is
for it
coming up
every
next.
time.
I'm just tired of discussing him. I'm tired of the back and forth. I'm tired of, he did this, and
It's
all of a sudden we
boring at
love
this
him.
point.
No, his clown works. He's just a big clown, man. Sad to say.
Man. And who are the black people on Kanye's team? Like, Kanye been in this business a long time. You got these billion-dollar
I
companies.
said that last time.
What's your staff at Yeezy look like? What did your staff at The Gap look like? He's always discrediting black people and saying we don't own anything but braids and the N-word. Well, he's a black owner. Is he practicing what he's preaching or just talking per usual?
It's a good question. All right, well. Front page news is next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.